watching First Gen TV. There isn't any video. There's just going to be audio today. I hope you guys don't mind, and I hope you stick around. But anyway, so let's get into it. Okay, today I just wanted to come and talk to you guys a little bit about something that God has really been putting on my heart, and that is biblical friendships. In the past few years, as I said in previous videos, I have not been able to maintain or cultivate relationships in general. And I know a lot of that had to do with, me not being a good representative of Christ, me not recognizing my own flaws and, things about myself that would cause me not to be a good representative of Christ, will cause me not to be able to be used by Christ, but being so quick to judge others.
Matthew chapter 7 verses 3 through 5. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?
I used to always, quote that verse. So last year sometime, I did a study on biblical friendships because I just really wanted to, prepare to be a better friend and do it, in the way that God instructs us to do it. And I wanted to be able to attract those kind of friends as well as be that kind of friend. So I did a study on biblical friendships last year sometime. And I just want to come on here and specifically talk to you guys about appreciating those friends who will hold you accountable, appreciating those friends who will say the hard things. Proverbs 27 verse 6 says, wounds from a friend can be trusted, but enemies multiply kisses. Proverbs 18:24. A man of many companions may come to ruins, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Now, human beings in general, we tend not to like to have our flaws pointed out, me included, and we tend to get very offensive if somebody is telling us, hey, you might not want to do that, you might not want to do that, or correcting us. We tend to get very offended. But in the past few years, I have come to realize that there are times in my life where I could have really used a friend or someone to, really sit down and really hold me accountable. You never know how valuable those kind of relationships or friendships can be until you don't have them, until you're looking back like, man, I wish I had that kind of friendship or that kind of relationship with someone, because having someone in your life that will hold you accountable, that will tell you like it is, can keep you from experiencing different hardships or keep you from going down certain paths and help make you a better person in general. People in general tend not to see their own flaws. I know that was a huge problem for me. I will quickly judge somebody else and turn around and do the same thing. We tend not to see our own flaws until we have somebody, point them out. And I had to come to a point where God had to humble me. He had to show me something, and bring me to the point where I'm just where I'm in prayer and asking him okay, Father, I pray for these kind of friends. I pray that you will make me that kind of friend so that I can attract those kinds of relationships. Or I'll simply ask him to change me from the inside out. 2 Samuel chapter 12 is a really good example of, having that type of friend or that type of relationship where, somebody can tell you the hard things. In my studies of biblical friendships, one story that really did stick out to me was 2 Samuel chapter 12, where God sends Nathan to tell David, about himself when David killed Bathsheba's husband after he had had an affair with her and ended up impregnating her. And when Nathan was telling David about the story with the rich man and the poor man, David didn't realize that he was the rich man. He didn't realize his own flaws, and he was ready to condemn this man, not realizing that Nathan was talking about him the whole time. And like I said, we as humans tend not to realize our own flaws, and we will quickly judge others while we're doing the same thing that we're condemning them for. And David probably would not have realized or would not have acknowledged his own error had the Lord not sent Nathan to call him out on it and tell him, look, that was wrong. And I feel like we all need those kind of friends who are willing to tell us like it is, who are willing to hold us accountable. Because at the end of the day, if you're surrounded by people that are always saying yes, 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 they're, just basically yes people, yes men, yes women. If you're surrounded by people like that, then how are you going to grow? Because you're not going to know where you need to elevate, where you need change, what you need to work on. You're not going to know if nobody tells you, if you don't recognize it and you don't have someone in your corner to point it out, then there will be no growth. And I just want to talk to you guys about really appreciating those people who will hold you accountable, who will pray for you instead of judging you. And, just not to, every time somebody says something that may hurt, we're dropping people left to right because they're not saying what we want them to say or doing what we want them to do. Like, no, everybody does not have the right to speak into your life. But if it is somebody that truly loves you and truly cares about you, and they're sitting down and they're willing to say those hard things, because it's not easy to walk up to someone you love and tell them, like, hey, you need to get it together. You need to sit down because, what you're doing is not going to lead anywhere good. It's not always easy to, say that to somebody that you love when you know they need it. And when we have people in our life like that, we need to appreciate them, because those are the type of people that are going to help you grow, especially in biblical friendships. Because with all the temptations out here and the enemy running around constantly trying to make you fall, we need to be able to hold each other accountable, lift each other up in prayer, and keep each other on the right track. If you have one of those friends who is willing to say the hard things, to hold you accountable, to keep you in check, especially if they're coming from a good place, then hold on to those friends, because those are the type of friends that you can grow with. Those are the type of friends that you can build with. Hold on to them and appreciate them, because you definitely don't want to look back on your life and look back on some of the mistakes that you made and some of the wrong turns that you made and think, I wish I had somebody in my corner, who was willing to call me out on some of the things that I was doing that I know wasn't right. You don't want to look back on your life and wish, more appreciative of someone telling you like it is and keeping you in check and telling you the truth about yourself. You don't want to end up somewhere you regret and look back on your life and say, man, I didn't see that I was going in the wrong direction. I wish I had been surrounded by people who love me enough to say, hey, look, you need to slow down. That's not right. I'm not going to be involved in that with you. And to just, hold you accountable. Because we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to make wrong turns. But as long as we're keeping God as our foundation and trusting Him to bring the right people into our lives, everything will be just fine. Now, that's all I have for you guys today. And I hope that you got something from this. If you did, then come and join the body. It's as easy as hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to comment, like, and share this video with your friends and family. And if you haven't heard it today, always remember that I love you. Now go tell somebody else.